The Golden Globes are going on this weekend. It's the 25th anniversary, if you can believe it, the 25th anniversary of Pokemon, and an exclusive right here on The Morning Laugh. Mike James returns from Hidden Lake. All that and more on The Morning Laugh.
Hi guys, this is Mike James, and let's just bring everybody in. We got Chris Wineland, Josh Novi, and Brian Kohatsu. Hey guys.
Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. Did it work? I tried it. I gave it a shot. Like, just want to see how it worked. I'll have to try it later. Anyways, good morning. Good morning. You can't see, anyways. It's okay. I did my Full House intro. That's what I did. Everywhere you look.
You did like the Jesse.
Yeah, because I'm
even like look. You skipped over all the levels and just went straight to the Jesse.
I know, but look, I mean, because I have guitars and I have music, so obviously I'm Uncle Jesse. I'm not some schmuck Joey.
Well, I meant to do what you were doing. I forgot, so that I waved real cheesy, and then I tried to pose. So I was all of the girls in Full House.
You did. Yeah, you did the Olsen twins.
Yeah, the Olsen twins. That's what it was.
Hi. Cameras where? I just did the Saget. Huh? That was it.
Where? Oh man. Good morning, guys. How's everyone? Did you guys sleep pretty good last night?
Yeah.
I slept very deeply. When my alarm went off this morning, it was quite the interruption.
Now, seeing that you said your alarm went off, Mike is back, everybody.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Mike, you went to Hidden Lake last week, I understand. Is that and you got so hidden that
I have found that I mentioned Hidden Lake, and I have found from comments and other things that every state has some place called Hidden Lake. So, but there's one here. It's just a private lake. They call it Hidden Lake. It's a couple that owns it, and it was a nice little getaway one evening. That was not the reason I was missing last week, though.
Oh, okay.
The reason I was missing last week is because I was called away by the CIA for a special assignment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
That
Cool.
makes sense.
I'm glad you could tell us.
Well,
yeah,
we were worried.
So just keep it to yourselves. I'm not allowed to tell anybody about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, the things trending this week are, I was having trouble. There's not a lot of interesting stuff happening this week. We do have the Golden Globes coming up this weekend. So, and I know nothing about what is out there for the Golden Globes as far as what movies. Because did anybody go see a movie? I've seen 2 movies this year in the theater, and both of them were old movies that I've seen before.
What did you see?
Gosh, what was it? I don't remember the first one. I should be better prepared. The second was The Croods, which I assume was before.
The Croods, I believe, won several Golden Globes.
Mm-hmm.
Please,
it was a great movie.
Please tell me that you had like.
Fun fact. So it's just off the subject. Did you know that the Golden Girls were actually in their early to mid 50s in that show?
Yeah, they were my age. That's correct.
Yeah, isn't that? I found that out last night actually, and that was jarring. As I would say, I would put that to
the oldest one being the youngest one.
Yeah,
that's right.
Ma.
Estelle Getty was the youngest of that cast.
Yep,
right?
26 years old. A lot of hair and makeup. Yeah.
That right there is the brain of a comedian. That you heard the word golden, you switched over to Golden Girls, and then you talked about age, which every comedian's worried about because death is inevitable. Good morning, everybody.
I immediately went to Gilmore Girls when you said girls. So
yeah. Can you believe Sandra and Felicia went on out to?
Are you making those names up?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Thank goodness nobody went to the HBO series Girls.
Yeah, I don't.
Lena Dunham, which I think wasn't Josh. You were on that, weren't you?
I was Lena Dunham's back tattoo.
That's right.
I played her stunt hand.
But that was only season 1, I thought. Oh, whatever.
Yeah. And then they replaced me with.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think the biggest problem with the Golden Globes is that it's like with everything else. There's so many categories now, so everybody wins. Everybody wins. Matter of fact, Josh, you were nominated for best back tattoo. I think last year, a couple years ago.
But I lost out to Chris's back knee, so it was
His back knee. Yes.
Yeah,
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And I won fair and square.
I don't know. Are you guys planning on watching it?
No.
I mean, if I have to, I will. I don't want to though. Like, it is not anywhere on my priorities list.
This is how it works for me. Sitting down to watch TV is like a guilt thing for me. If I sit down and watch TV, it's like, okay, I shouldn't be doing this. I should be doing something more productive. So I never plan on watching television. It's just something that happens to me.
It just appears in front of you on the wall.
Yeah. As I sit there, I feel like a victim of television. What's happening to me?
Oh, they got me again.
To Mike James, TV is like soiling his pants. He doesn't plan on it.
It happens when it happens.
It just happens, and you accept it.
So Amy Poehler and Tina Fey are hosting again. I don't think I've ever watched the Golden Globes, but I've seen clips of things.
Yeah.
But it's all virtual, so I wonder if they will be in the same location or not, or if even they will be.
I think they're supposed to be coast to coast. That's what I believe.
Can we quickly talk, because Josh had already went off the whole rails, and a couple of us have. So I want to go off the rails real quick. And this isn't a statement in any way to like get in a heated debate, okay? But you go with the Golden Globes and all this stuff. I've learned that in Hollywood this year, everything is so inconsistent when it comes to the social distance or the masks or anything like that. Because I was watching Connors, and I'm like, okay, great. They're, like, oh, this is interesting. They're all going to put on masks before they walk out of the house. They're all actors. They're all next to each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. The whole thing is just weird to me. It's like, it's weird that they make a big statement on like an award show or something, but then on all the other shows I'm seeing that they're not really doing too much. And I don't care either way. I honestly don't. I'm just like, wow, this is weird to me that it's like.
Do you want the real answer or the funny answer?
The funny answer, please.
Hey, the COVID doesn't affect TV. TV is not real, Chris. I don't know. If you're watching TV, they can't hear you back.
Oh, thank
and just
you.
so you know, also, Chris, so you know, and I'll give you the real funny answer. It's because they're wearing makeup that protects them from COVID. It's special Hollywood makeup.
Every time you're going to say anything, Brian, I want you to preface it with, okay, guys, I'm going to give you the funny answer.
Oh, gosh. Cool.
So the real answer is that all production studios have a COVID officer of some sort. I got offered a job to do that.
Really?
Yep. And so they
get tested every 10 seconds.
It's every couple of days they get tested. So and then if anything happens, then they do all the stuff. So and then
each show is doing their own thing, man.
Yeah, some shows are even they even have everyone like sequestered to do stuff, and it's pretty
interesting. Well, I think I like the funny answer a little bit better, but
everyone does, Chris. That's why I'm a comedian.
Also, did you guys know that everybody is individually shot on a green screen, and then it's all put together? No one's actually.
I'm pretty sure they're all CGI. Everyone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Norm said that I'm always digging into controversy, which I agree with. So sorry, Norm.
You are the controversial one of the four of us.
Yeah,
Chris.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of email, Chris, about your Golden Globes. So,
hashtag
Chris,
beard,
you are incorrigible.
Hashtag beard as a statement. I don't know what that means, but it's trending.
Yeah.
Hashtag
I don't want to be controversial. Yeah.
So Golden Globes, that's just for movies, right?
No, it's movies and television.
And
it's
TV.
everything.
So what okay, I don't know what television shows are out either. I like watching the older shows. You guys like watching older television?
I do. I just watched yesterday. I watched the $6 Million Man.
No, I don't mean older shows. I mean watching older televisions.
Oh yeah. Actually, I bought a television to put under my television, so I needed something to put my television on. So I bought one of those old gigantic.
Is it a Zenith? If it's a Zenith, those give you the best height to put a new TV on.
That's true. Although the Westinghouse is pretty stable.
Westinghouse is pretty nice. Well, but then you got to worry about the radio and the record player.
That's true.
You know,
I like the RCA because it had the best woodworking.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the Lysol TV box. No? Okay.
Again with the controversy.
It's funny. So like with the Golden Globes, you know that I'm a big football fan. I think you guys are too. I like sports. In Los Angeles, nobody cares about the Super Bowl or NBA Finals or anything like that. They only care about but the Oscars and the Golden Globes are like people have gigantic parties about them, and it blows my mind. Anyways,
do they have hot
wings
and stuff?
Actually, fun fact: the first place I went to when I moved to Los Angeles, I got invited to a Super Bowl party, and I was like, "Do I need to bring anything?" And they're like, "No, we got all the junk food. Just bring yourself." And so I went over there, and it was just literally celery sticks with buffalo sauce. I was like, "This is not
really."
I was so mad.
That's what you were like, oh, I live in LA. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like it was a very LA moment where they're like, we got vegan wings, okay? So
wow.
I have a similar story, but it was in Chicago. So first off, they had all the Midwest food. So that part wasn't a problem. That was great at this Chicago Super Bowl party. But the thing that got me that was different was everybody, like nobody paid attention to the game. Everybody pulled out their phones for Twitter every commercial. So the whole night was literally just like, do you guys see that? Okay, great. And then just writing jokes. Like it became a writer's session. And I thought it was the weirdest thing, but I kind of liked it. Sorry, I didn't have a funny response. It was just a real response.
I like how most get-togethers with comics end up being a writing session.
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to run a bit by me right now?
I think
speaking of guys, I need to run a bit by you right now.
I think every sporting event, every TV show, anything that's going on, if you have more than two comics in the room, two or more, it ends up Mystery Science 3000 for whatever you're watching.
Which is on that. So what was your favorite like in-person movie experience? What was your favorite ever? I'll tell you mine while you guys are thinking. I went to watch a movie called I Know Who Killed Me, starring Lindsay Lohan, who played twins, one of which
wasn't that Freaky Friday?
It was sort of. It was Parent Trap with murder, which was fun. So we go and watch the movie, and so she's twins. They're separated at birth. One of them gets kidnapped and starts getting her legs chopped off and stuff, and the other one starts losing her legs and then so she has to solve the murder of who's killing her at the moment. Anyways, terrible movie, awful movie, one of the worst movies I've ever seen. But about 10 minutes into the movie, me and my friend of mine, we start audibly making fun of it, and about 20 people in the theater were like, "Shh," right? And then within another 5 minutes, everyone in the theater had come over to our seats, and we all just made fun of the movie for the whole time. And it was hands down the best experience I've ever had, where we're just a bunch of strangers made fun of a terrible movie.
That's great.
That's funny. Yeah. I think my favorite one ever was, it's tied for two. The first time I saw Rocky Horror Picture Show at midnight, everybody was dressed in character and kind of played the parts and all that stuff. That was just interesting, but I think I'd have to go with my favorite one being E.T. because I saw it at a drive-in with a girl, and we didn't see the rest. We didn't see the end of the movie. We were kissing. We were necking.
Yeah.
Necking. I was trying to avoid a rumble, and I was necking my girl.
Do you have your little switchblade out just in case?
Yeah, that's right.
There's a bunch of gang members outside his car. Come on.
We know you're in there, James. Come on, you can't hide from us all night. I don't know what accent that was.
Yeah, wait.
All night.
Hey, look at me! I'm a car hijacker.
Hey, I'm a Fauci.
This is the Irish version of The Outsiders called The Outside Shire. That's the name.
I like in this scenario, everyone has a mouthful of peanut butter. Look at me, I'm from.
Welcome to Schwarzenegger Theater. Hey, look at me. I'm Dr. Fauci.
Okay, so wait, Golden Globes is television movies, but what the Academy Awards? What's that? That's just movies.
Movies.
Correct.
But haven't they added other stuff to that? Like,
No.
Just okay, it's just movies.
Academy Award, yeah, only movies.
Yeah.
What if it's
They added more
what if it's a
diverse
television movie?
categories.
What if it's like an HBO movie?
If it has to have been shown in the theater.
Oh, really?
I think it has to have a minimum. I don't know how much it is. At least 1 week or something, or
Yeah.
2
Okay,
weeks.
so that and then
No.
Golden Globes is a different one, and it overlaps because it's
It's first.
okay. And then
But
there's one for
that's
just
the French Foreign Press or something.
isn't there one for just television also?
That's the Emmys.
Yes.
That's just television.
Mhm.
Hey,
The
speaking of
Emmys are
Emmys,
my favorite.
does anyone happen to have any Emmys around them at all?
Speaking of Emma Stone,
I was trying to give you an in, Brian, to like
Oh.
pull your.
It's not an Emmy.
Oh,
a
it's not.
Telly.
It's a Telly. Oh, that's not.
And I have 3 of them, but I only have 2 hands. So
I'm waiting for
I'm
it to
doing the
become
best
an
I
actual
can,
Oscar.
Josh. But I just want to take a second. I want to thank my agent. I want to thank Mike James, Chris Wineland, Josh Dovey, of course, my wife. What's that? I'm running out of time. Anyways, thank you, French Foreign Press. You guys are awesome. Good night. This way. Sorry.
I believe.
So, Brian-
I think Snoop Dogg had the best acceptance speech of all time. He went up and he said, "I'd like to thank myself for never taking a day off. I'd like to thank myself for never giving up."
Well, Matthew McConaughey had an equally good acceptance speech. This was when he won the Oscars a couple years ago. And he said in his long Matthew McConaughey, words, he basically said that he is his greatest mentor. That's what he said.
Oh, that's when he took his shirt off right afterwards too.
That's what it was. He said, I look up
I
to.
just want to say
somebody
one thing,
important."
guys. He did his laundry on his abs too.
I have a piece of trivia for you guys real quick. Who won outstanding performance by an actor in a supporting role in a comedy in 1968?
Don Knotts.
1968.
1960. Hold on, wait. 1968 would have been supporting role. Gilligan. What's his name? John Fogerty.
Bob Denver, you mean?
Is it Matthew McConaughey?
I'll give you a hint. I'll give you the guy's name, but you have to tell me what part he played. His name was Werner Klemperer.
Oh, that would be.
Oh, that would be.
Well, Clink.
That's right.
What? What's the answer?
Colonel Klink in Hogan's Heroes.
Colonel Clink.
You guys have lived a different life than I have ever lived. I don't know anything you're ever talking about. We should just rename the show. Chris is so confused.
You've never watched Hogan's Heroes, Chris? Really?
No. Is
Oh,
that
my
about
gosh.
Hulk Hogan? Oh, Hogan.
Yeah, 1968.
Oops.
Hogan's Heroes. I just want to give a big shout out to my firefighters. Okay.
Listen, brother, my heroes are Matthew McConaughey and his mentor, Matthew McConaughey.
And every week that show was a half an hour. Oh, it was weird. Just a list of people that Hulk Hogan thought were heroes.
Hogan's Heroes, Chris, was a show about a prison camp in World War II in Nazi Germany. It was a very fun-loving little show.
You know,
It was a comedy about.
it was a comedy.
They were all in prison here, but they figured out a way to escape at will. So they were actually operatives for the Allies, and they were in a prison camp that was dysfunctionally run by Colonel Klink.
Mike brings this up because for some reason now, my wife used to love Hogan's Heroes as kids. I did too, but we've got on a binge now where
They
every
have Hogan's
night.
Heroes as kids. I've never seen that one.
Yeah. Hogan, you're not escape this playground. Yeah, it was really weird. It wasn't well. It was a cartoon. It's like, oh, come on, Clink. The minute he goes duty, we're gonna go escape and go punch and some cookies. Okay, guys.
It's just Hulk Hogan escaping a Nazi youth camp, is what it is.
So, Josh, you've seen Hulk Hogan. You've seen Hogan's Heroes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure that Chris is the only one on the out here.
Yeah.
I love the idea of Hulk Hogan's Heroes here. I really do.
Hulk Hogan's Heroes.
No one has ever escaped this ring. It's oh yeah, brother, watch
Chris,
this. And then
you never heard anybody do that like that. I know nothing.
No.
I know
Hear
nothing.
nothing. Okay.
John Banner, who played Schultz, was like, I didn't appreciate as a kid watching his performance, but now I cry. The other day, they tricked him into watching the artillery shed, and he was going to Miss Klink's birthday party, and he goes, "Schultz, you're on duty, dismissed," and then Schultz goes, "Happy birthday." It's ridiculous. I'm not doing justice, but you got to watch it.
Actually, I feel like I want to see you three do an episode of Heroes.
Hogan's Heroes.
Where it's called Hogan's Heroes just for me, so that I can make a good decision, and then I'll review the show on YouTube. So
What if we do an impromptu table read of an episode with the four of us, but Chris cannot have ever watched the show yet?
Yeah, deal.
That would be great.
So then we can
watch the show. Print out a script.
I think, I'm not sure, guys, but if we do it before Sunday, we can be Golden Globe eligible.
Well, let's plan for it this next week. Seriously, let's just do a whole special episode where we read Hulk Hogan's Heroes.
I think you should.
Heroes. I'm in.
We'll have to get a script.
Yeah, that's easy. You just Google it and then you print it. That's it.
We just need to do one scene.
What about our audience think? You guys think that we should do a special themed episode next week to do a Hulk Hogan's Heroes?
I don't know if it's worth an hour.
It is. It's gonna be. Well, because think about it. You three are gonna love and cherish the lines, and then I'm gonna look up and be like, "What the heck? I don't get this. What is this? I don't understand." And then everybody will boo me, and you guys will be the heroes of the show, so to speak. The Hogan's Heroes.
We don't have enough.
Chris, that show was extremely controversial when it came out, obviously. Huh? But for some reason,
is it still?
But for some reason, people loved it. Well, it's still on. So, like, my wife and I watch it on MeTV, but then on the Sundance Channel, they run a marathon every Saturday.
What is MeTV?
Is that like in your living room?
Is that like on cable?
It's like Nick at Night for old people.
So it's like a real channel. It's not like a streaming channel or something.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, here locally, Arizona, it's channel 6. Just so you know.
Don is saying definitely do the script reading for next week. It could be a hit, you guys. This could be the thing where everybody's like, "All right, we're just going to pick scripts, and you now have to read it."
I'm willing to try it.
Then you're on the
thing. Love it.
We should do all kinds of different. Every week should be just different old television.
Yeah, because then I'll pick a show that you guys haven't seen, and I'll make us like I don't know. You ever watch?
Yeah, like we're doing animated series. No, Pokemon.
We're gonna end up doing Zach and Cody.
I think we're gonna. Yeah,
I don't know if that is.
It's gonna be episodes of Pokemon that Chris remembers from his childhood.
I just love the fact of a Zach and Cody or any of their iCarly with Mike reading the lines of like, "Hey, I really think that boy's cute, but I don't think he notices me." And the Mike's gonna be like, "What is this show?"
Wasn't that Jan from Brady Bunch's line?
Every episode.
Yeah, she made up a guy's name, Ron Glass or whatever it was.
Ron Glass, the detective from Barney Miller.
No, it was something Glass. I remember it was something Glass.
George Glass.
George Glass.
George Glass.
George Glass.
Mm.
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, Ron Glass on Barney Miller, which is another show Chris doesn't remember.
Have you guys ever gone to
Laughing.
Universal
Great.
Studios and taken the backlot tour?
Several times.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. One of the things in that, though, is you go through this one tunnel and it rotates. And apparently it was built for the $6 Million Man when he was in the avalanche.
Sasquatch.
Yeah, and the Sasquatch thing when he was in an avalanche. But they've used it for several other things. They used it for some sort of time travel thing one point.
Oh.
By the way, do you know that episode of the $6 Million Man with the Sasquatch? Do you know who played the Sasquatch?
Yes.
It was Estelle Getty.
I do know. It was
very
Andre
young
the
Estelle
Giant.
Getty. Yes.
Wasn't it Andre the Giant?
It was Andre the Giant. Yep.
That's what I was going to say.
Yep. Which is funny because the other pick I think at the time probably would have been Lurch. What's his name? Or
Lurch.
Or what was Lurch's name? Anybody remember Lurch's name?
Gosh, no. No, I haven't.
Oh, man. Somebody look that up? Not us, but somebody some of the audience members. Can you go ahead and let us know in the comments who Lurch was? I mean, we know who Lurch was, but like, what? Who was he? You know, like inside, who was he?
And then just message me and let me know just who he was in general. Like we can be in the shallow end for me. Everybody else can get deeper.
I just watched a documentary on Lurch. and Cassidy. What is it? It's not Sean or David. It's
Butch.
Butch.
Come on, America, help me out.
Ted Cassidy.
Ted Cassidy.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's Ted Kennedy you're thinking of.
You know, it's funny.
Yeah.
You said you watched a documentary on that. Have you ever seen that documentary on Big Bird?
Speaking of tall things, no.
Yeah,
I have not.
it's funny because
Ted
the guy
Cassidy.
that plays Big Bird, you know, his hand is up in the air to operate the head.
I'll ruin the magic.
So that's why Big Bird always has one hand on his chest because it's just glued there. The other hand is free to move, but his other hand is up in his head. But it's when you said I saw a documentary on Lurch, I just pictured some guy in a suit operating his head with one hand.
Yeah, it was Estelle Getty. Yeah. All right, boys, you ready? Put my voice modulator on.
It's me. Oh man.
Yeah, Ted Cassidy, just because we're on this kick at the moment, Ted Cassidy did the voiceover at the beginning of The Incredible Hulk. David Benner. that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at us still using the theme of Hulk and Hogan.
Yeah.
Throughout this whole
Yeah.
It revolved around Hulk and Hogan.
Hulk Hogan really is the center to the television universe. I think we'll all agree on that.
Okay, getting back to trending topics, because that was the reason we were talking about all of that other stuff. That all evolved from Golden Globes. So the only other thing I found that was a little interesting was Pokemon's 25th anniversary. I think that's interesting because my kids were actually that was one of the few pop culture things that people talk about today that my kids actually were a little bit into at one point.
Yeah.
Were you guys ever Pokemon fans, or did you involve yourselves in that at all?
I was a huge Pokemon fan.
Were you?
I once got you guys may not get this, but I once got a Bulbasaur card and I traded it for a Magikarp. Why? What's wrong with me?
You fool.
I'm a fool.
Mora. I don't know.
I will never do it again. I'll tell you that right now.
Is that whole thing based on collecting cards? Like, is it like a baseball card? You just collecting them and trading them, or?
No, I mean, not the show. The show itself is about collecting, Pokemon, quite literally. The game is it's like an actual battle game, so you'll battle, but it became a side game of the game is that you loved trading to get like a better Pokemon. That's kind of why the trading became huge.
Here's a question, Mike. Have you ever heard of Magic the Gathering?
I've heard of it. I don't.
Okay, so it's a card-based game where you use cards as points to deduct points from another player, and so that was kind of the original card game of that sort. And then Pokemon is just Magic the Gathering with cartoons.
Yeah.
Or Magic the Gathering is Pokemon for wizards.
Did I don't know if you guys know this, but do you guys know how?
I mean, you can look at it either way.
Do you know how the whole Pokemon thing started, though?
No.
Pretty interesting. So they tried to introduce Easter, the concept of Easter in Japan, and they had eggs, those plastic eggs, and kind of did an egg hunt. And these kids, once they opened the eggs, they like got their candy or whatever, but the sugary content of that isn't the same. Like in Japan, they don't have that much sugar in their candies. So the kids just had the little shells around. They were collecting lizards in them and then just throwing them at each other. Yeah, that's how it all started.
Is that true?
I don't know if it's true, but
Brian made that up.
True.
Brian, you get a bonus point for being that creative.
I'm half Japanese. I know stuff.
There's what? I love that I'm half believing this. I'm gonna have to Google it.
Yeah.
Somebody Google Japan
throwing eggs
Easter.
like I choose you, and they're just chucking the poor lizards. A lot of them didn't make it.
That's how I flirted with girls in elementary school. I would just throw lizards at them, and I would say, "I choose you," and then that's how I met my fiance today.
Yep.
I saw her at a comedy show, and I had a lizard. And I was like, "I choose you," and then here we are.
Yeah. That's good.
Well, I started watching WandaVision. Have you guys watched this?
Love WandaVision.
No, I haven't seen it yet. Don't ruin it.
No.
No, you
And now for the shortest segment ever.
Well, this
The
is
segment we call "Don't Spoil It."
I don't.
I will say this: when we'll get back to the subject here, but when you started to have the ability to DVR stuff and things, my buddy who lives in LA was saying that at all parties, everyone would start talking about a show, and everyone would say, I haven't watched it yet." It's because everyone's recording everything, and now that we all watch stuff at different times, the whole world is caught up to oh, don't spoil it for me.
Yeah.
So we all sit there in awkwardness and go, "Coffee?"
Okay, wait. I actually did that. I did that the other day with the movie Inception. I was in a place with a bunch of people, and I said, "Well, you know how Inception at the ending," and people literally went. There were two people, and they were like, "No, I haven't seen it yet." I'm like, "Hold on, it came out 20 years ago. You had your time. I can't not tell you the ending now."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like that movie, The Sixth Sense, where at the end you find out that he is
La.
bad actor, and so
Wow, Don DeBach wrote that her roommate, that was 24 years old, had a card album filled with only Pokemon, and he had blankets and linens and only Pokemon. Just last year.
Wow.
Brian and I know a guy that was very into Pokemon, and I don't know how old he was. I always guessed he was somewhere between 17 and 43.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if he landed in there.
He was close to 30 at the time.
Okay.
yeah. I remember when Pokemon first came out, and everyone was very into it, and I was a teenager at the time. And then someone's like, "Hey, you wanna watch Pokemon?" And I was like, "What's Pokemon?" They're like, "It's Japanese for pocket monster." And I was like, "No, I can't watch that."
Hey, there is a theme today. Pokemon, right? With the ball, right? And then the Golden Globes. And Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
Killing it, guys.
And we were talking about Hulk Hogan, and Chris has been listening to German music. I mean, it all wraps around itself.
Well,
Yeah.
before we go too far, just make sure that we do cover
You wanna
that WandaVision. What were you going to say about WandaVision?
WandaVision.
I do think it is important to.
I was just going to say, I've been watching. So WandaVision it's fun to watch. I first started watching it, and I thought it was one thing, but it evolved into an entirely different thing than I expected. But it's cool because it goes back to that old television style, and then it just every episode seems to evolve by about a decade in television style. Until it's hard to explain. You have to watch it, but you have to be really into the Marvel universe stuff, which I'm not. I like that. I just never learned enough about the Marvel world, the superhero stuff, to know enough. So now when I'm watching it, I'm very confused. So I'm making
so
up
you're
my
saying
own-
you have no idea
I'm
what
making
you're
up my own backstory. What?
Mhm.
I was just saying, okay, so it sounds like you're saying you're watching it, but you don't know what it is. It's like and not you, of course, not you.
Right.
But it's like when older people try to figure out Instagram. They're like, I like it, but I don't understand what I'm doing or what I'm looking at.
I'm really loving the WandaVision.
It's like when a young child, that first time a young child watches Hogan's Heroes and goes, "What is this?"
I want to say that, and if you haven't watched it, I think that everyone should be watching it. The versatility of Elizabeth Olsen as an actor is just mind blowing. And there was an episode, I don't want to give anything away, but they did an episode where it kind of had like a Modern Family twist to it, and then the way that they did it, and I was just like, what a phenomenal actor. And and you realize that's what a professional is. That's why, like, oh, that's why she gets to be in movies. Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Why can't I be in movies?
Yeah.
I want to be in movies too.
Norm had just said something that I love. He said, I had a friend called me 20 years ago. He says, what you doing? I said, watching The Sixth Sense. And he said, did you figure out he's dead yet? In the middle of the movie. That's great.
Oh my God, Norm, you need new friends.
For real. I would stop being their friend right away.
Don't answer the phone from that guy when you're watching a movie.
You figure out he's dead yet? What?
Hey guys, you seen that movie where the Bruce Willis is a dead guy? You seen that yet? Sorry, I saw Norm. I went to Norm McDonald. Hey,
Yeah, Norm
you see that? Yeah.
I saw
The
Bruce
whole
Willis.
movie, you think he's alive, but he's dead. Yeah. Check that out.
So a frog goes into a ghost. And
Wait, listen,
So-
you guys will be proud of
so-
me for watching
Bro.
something older. Oh, okay. This week I watched the very first 007 movie, Dr. No. I watched
And what
it
did
by
you think?
myself.
Yeah.
And my dogs, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I actually thought it was really good, but I don't know.
actually thought it was good.
But
It
the
wasn't
dogs
in-
hated it, right?
It wasn't
They
from my
hated it.
generation. I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, it was a little
I,
slow paced, but it was nice.
Sure. Back then, they like to really soak up the scenery and the. He's gonna walk from that door to that table, but watch. Acting.
So St. Patrick's Day is coming up again. Now, if you guys remember, that was the first big holiday that we missed last year because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So we
Yes.
have a redo this year. To see,
I
what happens.
wasted so much money on cabbage; it's ridiculous. The government giving me any money for that? No.
So I'm Irish. Most of my ancestry is Irish, and I'm one of the few people in my family, actually the only one in my family, that does not like corned beef and cabbage. But that's not the point. The point I'm getting at is my wife says, well, you have all this Irish music and Irish heritage. She wants to bring in her heritage for something, so she uses Christmas for her Danish heritage. But if you ever listen to Danish music, actually most European music, it's not good.
Hold on. Okay. I recently discovered German music and I'm obsessed. A buddy of mine, we started going regularly to this German restaurant very close to my house. It's like right down the street. Not to give you my address of where I live, everybody that's watching, but there's a place called Edelweissen right next to me. Okay, like right next to me. It's called Edelweissen, and it's in Phoenix. So figure it out.
Is there an exclamation point at the
There's
end
a
of it?
place called there's a place called Edelweissen called Edelweissen.
Edelweissen.
Yeah, it is. It's true. It's true. We got to say it that way. You got to say it. So me and my buddy were having a great lunch, and we're sitting over in Edelweissen. And while we're there, I start to hear all this music. And, German music, if you're not aware, it's just straight up EDM music. That's all it is. And it just started getting louder and louder. And me and my buddy are like, what is happening? So the waiter came by and we asked, so this is like the music that plays all the time? Like I used to think it was just like the accordion or something. He goes, well, the owner here, he's from Germany. He loves EDM music. And every time he comes in during lunch and it's just him, he'll pump up his favorite EDM music. So I'm sitting here and I added a whole playlist. I'll put a link on the show if anybody wants to listen to a German playlist later on after the show. But there's one song in particular called Johnny Depp. And all it is it just says Johnny Depp's name over and over again. And then it has EDM music. So it's Johnny Depp, Johnny Depp. And then you say, Uza, 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 the whole time. And I'm like, why am I in love with this song? It's great.
Well, it's easy to sing along with, first of all.
Yeah, you know the lyrics.
That's true. It's true. It's great.
Okay, you guys.
The Johnny Depp special today. The Johnny Depp special is a cold banana sandwich. It comes with your choice of hot, steaming water or a small, very small, lukewarm beer. 5 shillings. It's up to you.
Still.
If you don't like it, you can get out. I don't care.
5 shillings.
Is that the accent you hear on Hogan's Heroes?
Hogan's Heroes. Everyone does a really bad German, with the exception of the real Germans that were on the show. But Klink does not have. Really made a study of this. Klink does not have a German accent so much. He has a warble in his voice, which is not German. Because I don't know any Germans who are like, hello.
So it's a fun fact. Did you know that back in World War II, there were German spies who actually spoke very fluent English, and you couldn't tell that they had an accent or anything. But turns out that Germans can't say the word squirrel. This is true. Look it up. And so they can't say squirrel; they say squirrel. And so they
look it up.
True.
Bears can't run downhill, and Germans can't say squirrel. Look it up.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I love to do that. By the way, Josh prefaced this by saying, "Hey, fun fact about World War II."
The fun fact about POW camps. Okay.
So we had a show this last weekend. You guys had fun?
Oh yeah,
I had fun. I enjoyed it.
I did too. There were a couple people in the audience that stood out. One woman in the front left, she was great. But it was one of those just loud laughers. Just laughed heartily at everything.
If you're talking about the lady in the white,
I don't know what she was
to the
wearing.
left of the stage.
row. Yeah. She literally stood up during my set. She did. She was, because I mentioned my wife, and she stood up and pointed my wife out because she knew her.
She did.
Oh.
I didn't know she knew her.
She ruined about 3 of my punchlines. She just said them as loud as she could. And then the fact that this lady came up with my punchline 3 times made me want to just quit comedy. I'm like, well, if it's that easy to just come up with a punchline that I worked really hard on, then forget it. I'm done.
And there was a guy there too, though. People always talk about hecklers, and I don't know what the definition, to be honest with you, is, because heckling, in my mind, is somebody trying to interrupt or disrupt the show, on purpose, with adversarially doing that. But usually, if I get a quote unquote heckler, it's just somebody that's trying to add to the show, like agreeing with me loudly, or
ridiculous. The government give.
Yeah, I call them helper. I got helpers instead of hecklers. They're helpers. And then
helpers. Yeah, that's what it is. But there's one guy. Did you guys? I don't know when you were on stage if he was making a lot of noise too, but he would agree with everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
They repeat your punchline after you say it, and you'll be like, and that's why frogs jump. And he's like, oh, that's why frogs jump.
Wait, did you already say that? It's too early. Did you freak me out just now by saying the same line twice today?
Chris, I think you're having deja vu.
No, you said frogs jump about 20 minutes ago, and now here you are saying the exact same thing. I'm freaking out. What do you mean he didn't say that?
I don't remember him saying that.
He said it. Show the tapes. Anybody that's watching, please tell me I'm not having an episode.
He used the frog reference when he was doing Norm Macdonald.
Damn.
Yeah, the frog.
And the frog, but frogs jump.
Anyways, where were we? Oh yeah, Hulk Hogan. Anyways, Hulk Hogan was in the audience. heckling everybody.
He's like, "Yeah, brother.
Yeah, frogs, brother. Frogs." Yeah, I got lucky. I think that guy was all tapped out by the time I got on stage because my wife said that he was a pain in the butt a little bit through the show, but he didn't say anything when I was up there. So I don't know if Mike, did you chastise him? You be quiet, mister.
I didn't. He said things after a couple of times. If it's like a third time, then I'll usually address it. Or if I've already gotten to the point where I'm having to interact with the audience more because of interruptions, then I'll do that more. But I was trying to get through the material and I just keep the show going, so I ignored him. But I was just curious if you guys had the same experience with him.
Yeah, but like what? Yeah, and I don't really like chastise someone unless if it's like a really, unless if it's a real issue, because people don't they think they're helping and it's not. They don't. You try to be nice. So
no, I wouldn't chastise him in that sense. I would in my own way talk to him. But yeah, it's obviously I would say very sarcastically something to him or something about the way he's trying to add to the show.
I had a guy one time.
Hey guys, it is time once again for. Sorry, my connection is not great, you guys. So I am talking over everybody.
Mike's on dial-up.
But
you're just tuning in.
It's time for reverse trivia. Are you ready for reverse trivia?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Okay, reverse trivia. All right. I am going to send a question to you guys, and you're going to change Brian's going to turn off everybody's names, and you're going to change your name on the screen to your answer to this question. Okay. So here we go. I'm sending it right now. And go ahead and answer that question. And then when everybody's ready, we're going to turn those on. And then our viewing audience gets to figure out what question that might have been your answers were for. Does that make sense? I think it does.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, since I'm not involved with this part of it, I'm just going to make fun of you individually. Let's see. Let's see. I can see Chris there. He looks like he's studying the screen very hard. Brian with the same old lame screensaver in the background. And then Josh. Josh has never been in the same office space twice in any two shows. He's always in a new place. Never know where he's going to be. We should play Where's Josh?
Well, we know that if it's in the morning, I'm at home. Except for,
but it's a new home, so we haven't.
Yeah. There will be some additions. I need to build a frame. I have a tapestry right here, and this is if you guys know J.D. Barrows. So that's a J.D. Barrows piece, and I got to print it off as a tapestry. So I need to build a frame for that. So
what exactly is a tapestry? What is tapestry? How's that different than a picture?
It's a big piece of fabric that goes on the wall. Is what right?
So it's
I don't know if that was the original.
Yeah, it's like a curtain, but with a purpose.
Oh, okay. All right, you guys all answer?
Yeah.
All right, let's reveal the answers.
Mike, would you like me to put the question up?
No. Let's just put the answers up. We're going to have everybody try to figure out what the question was based on the answers.
Here we go. Ready? And here we go.
Okay, Chris says the cockroach.
Mm.
Brian says toaster oven, 1964. And Josh says the steam-powered pie maker, 1987. 87 seems very late to make a steam-powered anything, Josh.
Well, it's a specialty product.
Yeah.
That's in my mind. That's what I saw, like an easy bake oven or makeup.
Well, it's also 1987 was prime time for television commercials. Selling something big. So I would get that.
Yeah. Like if I was watching G.I. Joe, cartoons on Saturday, and then it's like, hey kids, you like pies? And it's like, check out the steam powered pie maker, and then like kids are like playing with it, and like it explodes and stuff.
It's a kid's toy. It's like the easy bake oven, but steam.
Do you remember that? You guys remember that commercial with Hulk Hogan? Hey brother, do you like pies? Yeah, Hulk.
Well, Hogan pie maker.
Brian has toaster oven 1964, so he's a couple decades ahead of your guess, Josh, and his is a newer technology than your guess.
We're on the same wavelength, though.
Yeah, we both want pies at this point. His thing about toaster ovens,
and Josh's answer goes back to the dawn of time.
Mm-hmm.
The cockroach.
Oh yeah.
All right. Anybody want to figure out what the question might have been? I'll give you another minute or so.
You're talking to the general audience at this point.
Yeah, the general audience. Yeah, sorry.
Well,
so once again, the answers that your clues for the question are these answers. Chris thinks the answer is the cockroach. Brian says toaster oven 1984 or 64. Sorry, toaster oven 1964. And Josh says the steam powered pie maker 1987. So I'm just going to let you guys figure it out for 1 second while I do this. Okay, time's up. All right, you guys ready for the real question? To reveal the real question that these guys had? The question was, let me find it here.
I have it if you want it.
The question, oh, go ahead.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. Christopher Cockerell, an electrical engineer and inventor, is most famous for inventing what? And in what year? Once again, Chris missed half the question.
I thought it was on the same page.
And so Brian thinks he invented the toaster oven. Chris thinks he invented a cockroach. And Josh thinks he invented the steam-powered pie maker. When in fact, he invented the hovercraft. Anybody wanted to guess when?
1942.
Hovercraft?
1887.
54.
Oh wait, when was 1955? Because it was Back to the Future.
It was actually 1955. What does that have to do with Back to the Future?
Because that's when Marty goes back to the future, but then from 1955, then they go to the future. So now they're back to the future, and there's hoverboards.
Hovercraft, not hoverboards.
Oh, whatever.
Hovercraft.
You think the hoverboard was invented in 1955?
So I said, here's what's funny. I said 1954, and I was close.
Yeah,
Josh bases it off of a movie and nails it.
Yeah. When in doubt, just go Back to the Future. That's what you Back to the Future it out is.
Marty, I just built this hovercraft over here.
Marty,
now I'm going to build a time machine.
It was originally called an ACV for air cushion vehicle.
Oh.
And it was invented in 1955 by Christopher Cockerell.
And so by the way, if you want to see an amazing hovercraft action sequence, you must see Rumble in the Bronx, because Jackie Chan fights this guy who's driving a hovercraft who drives it down the middle of the street. It's amazing.
Yeah,
very, very worthwhile.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Best hovercraft movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, hands down.
Aside from Back to the Future.
Oh, I want to see the Back to the Future is where Doc Brown just goes back to old Marty or young Marty just to tell on Marty's kids. No, Marty, it's the kids. They broke a window. Huh.
He did do that. You're right.
Yeah, every time. Marty, it's the kids, Marty. There's something wrong. What happened? She got a C on her math test.
It just turns out that he's like back seat parenting the whole time. And he's like, you gotta stop, Doc. You just gotta let me live my life.
Doc, you gotta stop it.
Have any of you guys ever invented something yourselves, like a new thing?
Sure, every day. Every day.
I invented a reason to get up this morning.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the idea that Chris like does things and then he thinks he invents it. Like he makes coffee. He's like, I invented coffee.
He did.
Look at what I made.
Oh, I invented microphone.
I invented the idea of having 1,000,000 K-cups.
You
I'd
did.
like to see you disagree with me.
I think you're right. You did.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I mean, what about the person that invented K-cups and was like, I would like to sell 1,000,000 K-cups?
No, not them. They never wanted to sell 1,000,000. They didn't dream big enough, Josh. They wanted to sell 100.
I don't know if you guys.
Why other people bought them out.
I don't know if you guys know the origins of the K-cup, but they were trying to introduce St. Patrick's Day in Japan, and that little plastic shot glasses.
They were throwing them at girls.
Right now, we have Mike James, Chris Weiland, Josh Novy, and Toaster Oven 1964.
It's a nickname.
I
worked so hard to picture names that I forgot my own.
You chose the year I was born, Brian. I was born in 1964.
Yeah.
So there's that. When I was a kid, I used to always try to invent stuff. I remember going to Radio Shack. Do you guys remember Radio Shack?
It's back.
It is?
It is back, yeah. They've reopened them in like other stores. Like you find Radio Shack sections in other consumer stores.
Yeah.
Seems like the perfect year, you know?
Yeah. Also,
like we're going through a pandemic that a store that already died in a normal circumstance, now they're definitely going to thrive in the middle of a pandemic.
I don't know if you know this, Chris, but everyone's watching Hogan's Heroes and old Hulk Hogan videos. Of course they'd want Radio Shack. Who wouldn't?
Rest in peace, Fry's Electronics. By the way, they shut their doors out of the blue last night. They put a statement, we're shutting everything down. They didn't give us a chance to go buy everything at 60% off. And
so, first of all, most of the country probably is not aware of Fry's Electronics. It's mostly a West Coast kind of thing, but it was a big, giant warehouse type of Radio Shack actually. But they had all kinds of computer stuff, all kinds of electronics, all that. And I would argue that they didn't shut out of the blue because I was there about a month ago just because I had to wait some time, and they were just about empty.
Wow. It was pretty. I went up to someone. I was looking for something specific, and I went up to a person. I was like, "Hey, can you help me find something?" And they said, "No."
What?
True story. That's true.
I'm going to tell you that my belief is that Mike did go to Fry's Electronics within the last month. I believe his Yelp review was so scathing that they could only shut their doors. So.
I did. Actually, I went to Fry's Electronics because I was going to be about 20 minutes too early to get to Anzio's and meet you guys. So I stopped off there for a minute thinking, I wonder how Fry's Electronics is doing.
This segment of the Morning Laugh brought to you by Anzio's. Anzio's, making me fat for over 25 years.
making the worst blue cheese dressing ever.
Hey, it's a great restaurant. Don't base it on the blue cheese.
I will say something.
Every time I go, by saying that, Mike.
Every time I go, you guys tell me not to get the blue cheese. Blue cheese dressing is my favorite dressing, especially with wings. And I realize maybe it's the millennial in me, but I'm starting to doubt. Like I want to try it for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Do it. Here's what I'm saying.
You should.
My own.
I did the same thing. I love blue cheese. And by the way, Brian's right. Anzio's it is one of my very favorite restaurants. It is super good. It's an Italian place. It's
Anzio's
just really, really good.
Anzio's is the blue cheese of restaurants.
and Chris, I love blue cheese also very much. Okay. But Brian told me not to get the blue cheese there. I did it anyway, and I regretted it.
And I love blue cheese. It's like I know the owner. I'll talk to the owner. We'll have a heart to heart.
We've talked to everybody there about their blue cheese.
You guys just pull people. It sounds like an old people conversation. Hey, come over here. You try your own blue cheese? No, sir. Well, you need to.
Right?
I want to talk about Hogan's Heroes and blue cheese. Get over here.
We're coming to the end of the show here, guys. So, you guys have anything coming up?
Hire us. We need. Please hire us.
We do have Evening Laugh coming up March 3rd in Surprise. You can check our website, themorninglaugh.com. Actually, check our website for connections to all of us. Our Facebook pages, our Twitter accounts, our the Instagrams or whatever they are. All of that stuff is on themorninglaugh.com. You can go there. And Brian, you got something coming up on.
I will be at Stir Crazy this weekend, Friday and Saturday nights. So if you're in the Arizona, Phoenix area, Glendale, come see me. I'll be doing funny jokes and stuff. But why start now? But yeah, that's what's going on there.
And this Friday and Saturday night, you can come see me. I'll be driving Lyft. So just come on.
Brand new material.
Yeah.
I will be at Hidden Lake, and I'm not telling you where it is.
Next weekend I'll be
all right, you guys.
What?
Chris, go ahead.
Wow.
No, go ahead.
Wow, everybody. No, I'm just kidding. I'll be at Clean Comedy USA next weekend, Saturday, I think. It's in Arizona.
All right.
That's it.
All right.
Okay, guys, that's our show. Thanks for tuning in, and catch us next week. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us, and send money or whatever you have. Thanks again.
Bye.
Adios. Bye, guys.